Hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting installment of Amanda Gets Excited About Books. Welcome back if you've been watching these videos, welcome if this is your first video. My name is Amanda and I am the Assistant Director here at the Nevada Public Library, and I get so excited when we get boxes of new books in here at the library. And these videos are a way for me to share that excitement with all of you and to hopefully show you some great new titles that you're going to be very eager to get your hands on and to check out in the near future. I will remind you, all of these titles are in the catalog right now, so you can sign in at your earliest convenience, and you can place a hold on any of the titles I'm about to show you out of this box, and as soon as we've got them all finalized and ready, we will let you know. Also, please do take a look at the handy book lists option on the right-hand side of the main screen of the catalog. There's a lot of really great lists in there. There's some read-alikes, and there's also a series of lists called Unboxing Video Number whichever number we're on. This one might be 24. I'm losing count because there's been quite a few of these. But look for the most recent unboxing video and you'll be able to see a list of everything that's in this box, and you can place holds right from that list. It's super handy, so please do check that out. Now, without further ado, let's dive into this box. Let's see what books I'm going to be super excited about and what you're sure to be super excited about as well. And bang, right off the bat, we have a big name and an exciting title. This is Faithless in Death by J.D. Robb. If you've been following this series, I know you're going to be super excited about this latest installment. In this newest installment in the Eve Dallas series, what looked like a lover's quarrel turned fatal has larger and more terrifying motives behind it. Seen in a West Village studio apartment that looks like a crime of passion, but is it? We're sure to get all the kinds of crazy twists and turns as Eve Dallas takes a look at this one, so don't miss this if you've been following this series. Keep the big names coming. We've got a new Susan Mallory up next with The Vineyard at Painted Moon. This is the powerful story of one woman's search for the perfect blend of love, family, and wine. Sounds like what we're all looking for, right? Our main character, Mackenzie, seems to have it all: a beautiful home, close friends, and a successful career as an elite winemaker with the family winery. There's just one problem. It's not her family, it's her husband's. In fact, everything in her life is tied to him. His mother is the closest thing to a mom that she's ever had. Their home is on the family compound. His sister is her best friend. So when she and her husband admit their marriage is over, her pain goes beyond heartbreak. She's on the brink of losing everything: her job, her home, her friends, and worst of all, her family. So what's going to happen with Mackenzie? How is she going to navigate this complicated situation with her family and her ex-husband's family? You will have to take a look at this book to find out. We have a nonfiction title up next. This is Resetting the Table by Robert Pearlberg. This is a bold, science-based corrective to the groundswell of misinformation about food and how it's produced, examining in detail environmental impacts, obesity, food companies, technology change, local and organic food, the ethical treatment of animals, and every other aspect from farm to table. So if you are one of those people who's always trying to find the best information and accurate information about what you're eating, what you're feeding to your family, I know it's something a lot of us are concerned about and are becoming more concerned about. This is a great book to dive into to just kind of get, here's what's going on, here's what we need to know. This is the subtitle for this is Straight Talk About the Food We Grow and Eat. So definitely one to take a look at if you have interest in determining the best way to feed yourself and to feed your family. Our next title is Never Far Away by Michael Corrita. This is an electrifying new novel set in Maine about a mother seeking to reconnect with her children after a tragedy tears their family apart. It's a thrilling collision between old sins and new dreams, where the wills and ingenuity of a broken family will be tested against all odds. This sounds awesome. We have a main character whose bloodstained car was found a decade ago on a lonely Florida road. It looked like she'd been murdered, but her body was never found. Her disappearance left her infant children to the care of their father. So she's had to flee her old life to save her family. She's reinvented herself, but now, of course, things are going to come back to haunt her from her past. So this sounds like a definitely great thriller read. not one to miss. Up next is The Witch's Heart. This is by Genevieve Gornichette. This sounds super awesome if you have any interest in mythology and things that turn myths on their head. When a banished witch falls in love with the legendary trickster Loki, she risks the wrath of the gods in this moving subversive debut novel that reimagines Norse mythology. This sounds super awesome. I love diving into things that play with myths and explore new and different stories. We have our main character whose story begins where most witches' tales end, with a burning. She's punished by Odin for refusing to provide him with knowledge of the future. The fire leaves her injured and powerless, and she flees to the far reaches of a remote forest, where she is found by a man who reveals himself to be Loki, and her initial distrust of him transforms into a deep and abiding love. But then, of course, you know, she's still in trouble with Odin, so we know this isn't going to end well, or at least there's going to be complications. This is definitely one to pick up. This is sure to be an awesome read. Ooh, next up is another one I know a lot of people are going to be excited about and have holds on. This is the latest Kristen Hanna. This is The Four Winds. It's a powerful American epic about love and heroism and hope set during the Great Depression, a time when the country was in crisis, when millions were out of work, and even the land seemed to have turned against them. So we start in Texas in 1921. The Great War is over, the bounty of the land is plentiful, and America is on the brink of a new and optimistic era. But for Elsa Wolcott, deemed too old to marry in a time when marriage was women's only option, the future seems bleak, until the night she meets Rafe Martinelli and decides to change the direction of her life. With her reputation in ruins, there's only one respectable choice: marriage to a man she barely knows. By 1934, the world has changed. Millions are out of work, and drought has devastated the Great Plains. Farmers are fighting to keep their land and their livelihoods as crops fail and water dries up and the earth cracks open. Everything on the Martinelli farm is dying, including Elsa's tenuous marriage. Each day is a desperate battle against nature and a fight to keep her children alive. How is Elsa going to navigate this world, and what has brought her to this point? Definitely a story you'll want to read. Pick up The Four Winds to find out. I love the cover on this book. Right away, it's striking. I'm very interested to read this just from that. This is a new middle grade title called The Year I Flew Away by Marie Arnold. And everything is changing for 10-year-old Gabrielle. She had to leave her friends and family back in Haiti, and now she lives in America with relatives she hardly knows. She's having a hard time learning English, someone at school is bullying her, and she can't get rid of her accent. One fateful night, she meets a powerful witch who offers her 3 slices of mango. Each one will grant her a wish. Gabrielle knows better than to trust a witch, but she can't resist. With these wishes, she'll be able to make friends and fit in. But magic always comes with a price, and before long, Gabrielle is fighting to save everything that's important to her. This sounds awesome, and like it will be a super great read for the young people in your life, for you to take a look at as well. I know I'd like to take a look and read this one. I'll have to put my name on hold for it. Do not miss The Year I Flew Away. Oh goodness, oh goodness, oh goodness. Okay, so I'm super excited about this book. This is The Project by Courtney Summers. I've been eagerly awaiting this title. I read Courtney Summers' book Sadie. It's a couple years ago, I think, when it came out, and it was incredible. Just such a well-written, twisty mystery with so much else going on. So I'm eager to take a look at her newest book here. After a tragic accident kills most of her family and leaves her little sister Lo on the brink of death, Bea Denham is desperate for a miracle. It arrives in the form of Lev Warren, the charismatic spiritual leader of the Unity Project. He promises he can save Lo. All Bea has to do is believe. Lo wakes up in the ICU to find her parents are dead and her sister has abandoned her for the Unity Project. The more Lo learns, the more she's convinced the beloved organization is hiding sinister secrets. If only she could make Bea believe. Years later, when a man shows up at the magazine Lo works for, claiming the Unity Project killed his son, Lo sees the perfect opportunity to expose the group and reunite with her sister once and for all. But her investigation will put her in the direct path of Lev Warren, and he will make her question everything she thought was true and all that she believes. This sounds so good. I cannot wait to dive into this one. This is a title you will not want to miss from an author who writes incredible, incredible books. Our next title is Milk, Blood, Heat by Dantel W. Moniz. Set among the cities and suburbs of Florida, each story in this collection delves into the ordinary worlds of young girls, women, and men who find themselves confronted by extraordinary moments of violent personal reckoning. These intimate portraits of people and relationships scour and soothe and blast a light on the nature of family, faith, forgiveness, consumption, and what we may or may not owe one another. This is sure to be an awesome collection if you enjoy short stories, if you want to take a look at a collection that is sure to present a number of people encountering all kinds of life-changing events. You will definitely want to pick up Milk, Blood, Heat. Ooh, this is another one that I think I'm on hold for. Sometimes it's hard to remember. This is Not the Jess Show by Anna Carey. The year is 1998, and just like any other teenager, Jess Flynn is just trying to get through her junior year without drama. But drama seems to keep finding her. Between a new crush on her childhood best friend, overprotective parents cramping her social life, and her younger sister's worsening health, the only constant is change, and her hometown of Swickley, which feels smaller by the day. Swickley is getting weirder by the day, too. Half the population has been struck down by a mysterious flu. Conversations seem to end awkwardly when Jess enters the room. And then one day, a tiny, sleek, black device with an Apple logo on it falls out of her best friend's backpack and lands at Jess's feet. But the first iPhone won't exist for another 9 years. Suddenly, Jess has more questions than answers about her life, and as she races to uncover the truth about her family, her friendships, and her town, one thing becomes clear. We all have our own version of reality. This sounds awesome. It sounds like there might be a bit of kind of Truman Show happening in this, and sure to be all kinds of crazy nonsense as well. Definitely a book to take a look at. I'm very excited for this one. Don't miss This Is Not the Jess Show. Got a few YA titles in this box. Our next one is one as well. This is The Electric Kingdom by David Arnold. And this is another one that sounds oddly timely. We've got a bit of a dystopian storyline happening here. When a deadly fly flu sweeps the globe, it leaves a shell of the world that once was. Among the survivors are 18-year-old Nico and her dog on a voyage devised by Nico's father to find a mythical portal. A young artist named Kit, raised in an old abandoned cinema, and the enigmatic Deliverer, who lives life after life in an attempt to put the world back together. As swarms of infected flies roam the earth, these few survivors navigate the woods of post-apocalyptic New England, meeting others along the way, each on their own quest to find life and love in a world gone dark. This sounds awesome. Like I said, a little timely, but definitely one to take a look at. This sounds really, really good. Last but not least, our final book in this box is You Will Never Know, and this is by S.A. Prentice. In a small suburban town, the murder of a local high school student rocks one woman's family to its core and threatens to expose her deepest, darkest secrets in the process. So right away, we've got an awesome mystery. I'm on board. I'm there. I'll read it, whatever it is. We have our character, Jessica Thornton. After a lifetime of hardship, she finally has the life she's dreamed of. A new marriage to a realtor with burgeoning success, a daughter whose athleticism has won her a college scholarship, and a freshly secured grant from her bank to finally complete her own higher education. Her life today is a complete reversal from the not-too-distant past, when the death of her first husband left her penniless and desperate to provide for their newborn child. But after the murder of her children's high school classmate, a series of disturbances brings Jessica to question whether her dreams have ever actually come true or whether they've just been delusions all along. So this sounds awesome. Sure to be some secrets from everybody involved, sure to be some dark pasts that will come to light as things progress. Definitely don't miss You Will Never Know. And that is it for this box. Thank you so much for sticking with me and for seeing all of these amazing new titles that hopefully you want to read as much as I do. Please do put yourself on hold for any of these titles that have struck your fancy. and we will get them ready for you as soon as possible. And I will see you again as soon as we get more new books in the future. See you next time!